Flesner, your co-host, along with Debbie Giordano.
Hi, Todd. How are you?
I'm doing terrific. We're glad folks have joined us here on Channel 26 in Milpitas, where we get a chance to learn about some of the stuff that's going on around town, keep up on real estate and the trends. And so thanks again for joining us, folks. So we have an interesting guest with us today.
We do. It's kind of a behind-the-scenes kind of lady that we're bringing forward center stage and interview her. It's Deborah Whitlock-Lax.
You got it.
Who is the director or
station manager
for Channel 26, the station you're watching right now.
So Deborah's the one that's the behind-the-scenes person that makes all this happen.
That's yeah. See, yeah.
So we're
if
sharing.
If you like it, send me good reviews. If you don't.
So we're going to share all the secrets today.
We are.
About
I'm excited about that.
About public access TV.
Mm-hmm.
And learn a little bit more about Deborah.
Yeah,
a little bit. Kind of an interest. She is a very interesting woman. So.
Well, that might be a good place to start.
Okay.
Learning about Deborah. So maybe tell us a little bit about your background.
What
brought you here?
I feel like I'm a, what is that? I wear many hats, jack of all trades, master of none. I actually am not a native California. I stem all the way back to St. Louis, Missouri, and grew up there and raised my kids for the most part there, and was educated a little bit there and a little bit here. I started off as a computer person, really, hacking into systems. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I'm in the government. But I actually started off as hacking into systems, and my mom finally had to give me a job as a computer operator with MedCircle Incorporated, and I actually started doing computer operations and did that for a long time. I used to work for Wang Laboratories as their systems coordinator, and then McDonnell Douglas, and finally came here and was working with PricewaterhouseCoopers. That's actually what got me here, as I used to be a senior consultant for PricewaterhouseCoopers and traveled all over the world teaching people how to re-engineer their corporation, Fortune 500 companies. And we used to implement SAP. It's a huge software product that allows different departments to coordinate together.
So with your skill set that you bring here, you have technical skills.
Technical skills, exactly.
Along with the broadcasting, the public relations.
Well, because my department was a change management department, a lot of that is learning the functional roles of the company and then pulling together training materials, which is really in line with communication. And that might stem from computer-based application to videos to stand-up training and that sort of thing. And so this particular position here, the station manager, really segues nicely into communicating outwardly.
We'd love to ask our guests, we always ask everyone, what was it that brought you to Milpitas?
It's funny. I started off in San Jose, and then I heard that we have some of the top schools here. And so I actually started kind of investigating and looking and seeing, where to go. And here we are.
Okay.
So Milpitas is it. Education was number one.
Good, good. That's
terrific. So now you've been in Milpitas for how long now?
A little shy. Since 2002, 2003.
Okay.
So yeah. So,
and then with Milpitas Community Television for how long?
4 or 5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, how'd you find out about Milpitas Community Television and how'd you get hooked into this?
What's funny is I actually came as a volunteer.
Okay.
I sat with Bill, the computer director person.
Now retired.
Now retired, and I
Marion.
I took one of the training orientation classes, which that's what you need to do if you want to be a producer at MCTV 26.
Okay.
And that lay dormant for about 6 months, and I got a phone call from Mr. Marion and said, "Hey, what are you doing with your your orientation training?" I'm like, life got busy. I really want to get in there. I really thought he was just following up on the training. He says, well, we have a position open. And I'm like, really? I said, oh, wow, really? I would love to pursue that. So I came in for an interview, and he found that my skill sets were good in outreaching into the community, as well as the technological part, and took some broadcasting classes to get a little bit deeper, and here I am today.
Let me ask you just a general question then. What is public broadcasting? What is it all about?
That's an excellent question. Every community has the right, the ability to share their voice. Print media will have an editor's section. Well, so does broadcasting. So wherever there is a commercial television station, there should be a public access television station. Now, we run on what's called the PEG system, and the PEG system is really an acronym for Public Access, Education, and Government. I manage the public access and the educational arm of the PEG system, and Ellerin Passion, whom I think you really should interview one of these days.
We're working on getting Ellerin in there.
He's smiling back there. So.
See, I got you, Ellerin. he manages the government side of the television, and really, it just gives the community the ability to voice whatever they are teaching, informing, making aware. It gives us a community the ability to share what their passions are, and at a very low cost.
Mm-hmm. So now we have facilities now in Milpitas, and I know that it hasn't always been the case. I think, there used to be a show that was done up in Fremont before that, and I know there were some studios down in San Jose. How did Milpitas come about getting the facilities and
apparently it's always been, there has been some kind of public access all the time in Milpitas, but we haven't always had the studio, right? The city itself used to own the studio, or it still owns the studio, but in terms of managing and controlling it, they actually transferred that over to the non-for-profit organization MCTV 26.
Which you have a board, don't you? Or
Exactly.
There's some members of your board that
control that. The Telecommunications Commission, which I am a commissioner on, really was overseeing that. And then many of the members of the Telecommunications Commission sits on the board, and some have rolled off the commission to manage the operations of MCTV 26.
Okay.
Okay. So tell us a little bit about some of the other programming that's here. Of course, we have this show.
Absolutely. Well, it's fun. It's fun to see the transition, the development of MCTV 26. When I first got here, we really had about 12 hours of programming, and then it quickly turned into a 24-hour station, and that covered local interest, children's programming, cultural programming, movies. I added a couple of other categories: news type of related category, entertainment, that sort of thing. I'm excited to let you guys know. You guys are the first to know.
We won't tell us all.
We're going to do a Milpitas Food Connection type programming, and that's going to be all day of food-related type of programming. So chefs will come on. I tell you what, the other network that does food kind of gave me that idea, but I'm excited that we're going to have a lot of programming that is just going to deal with food in Milpitas, and hopefully get.
Will you feature restaurants?
That's what I'm hoping to do.
And of course we have so much ethnicity here.
Absolutely.
It could be very amazing show.
Absolutely. Well,
nice.
we've got programming shows from different areas of the country, but we're hoping to get some Milpitas restaurants and feature some Milpitas restaurants, and actually take the camera in and see the behind scenes, and maybe even some of our residents who are kind of the chef for their house. Maybe we can feature some.
Well, Deborah, let me ask you. One of the other shows that I know you're involved with is called FaceTime.
Yes.
What is that all about?
FaceTime is a Milpitas MCTV 26 owned production, and that features individuals that are unique in the community, as well as non-for-profit organizations that are making an impact within the community.
Nice.
So it's an exciting show, and it doesn't,
I know it's very much involved to put something like that together.
It is. So I try to do at least one FaceTime per month, and sometimes it's 2 or 3 times a month, but usually it's about once a month.
Okay,
I try to
nice.
put something together.
So, if folks are interested, maybe perhaps in that food program, new food programming, or they have an idea for something that might be of public interest, how do people go about getting involved or pitching a show?
They certainly, one of the fastest avenues is to contact myself at 408-586-3026, or my direct email address is dwitlock@gmail.com.
And I think Elrin will probably put that up on the
and
screen.
hopefully that'll be up on the screen. And the other way is to contact, look at our website, which has just a plethora of information, and that's milpetastv.org. And there we actually detail and outline everything that you would ever need to know.
That's good, because there would be service organizations,
Absolutely.
certain groups that would want to get involved,
Absolutely.
or producers that want to put on a show similar to what we've done. Todd and I have really enjoyed traveling through the community and putting on this show, and you've been instrumental. You've given us some guidance and kind of helped framed us. We were both novices at doing any kind of TV production.
Well, this is,
we still are a little bit green
VHOTV
around
is
the
one
edges,
of our
but
premier shows, and one of the cool things is even high schoolers who are looking at needing community service hours can volunteer, and certainly our older seniors who might want to come and volunteer some of their time, or anyone can come and volunteer their time and get to know a little bit about broadcasting.
Good.
Yeah, fantastic. So now, what are some of the challenges perhaps that you face running a nonprofit and a community access channel like this?
Well, Milpitas is kind of a balance between college students and a retirement place. And so that's a challenge to get people really interested in finding kind of their niche as to what they might want to do in broadcasting. The other challenge is economical. Our funding is very minimal, and so when we get funding in, it's usually from non-for-profit organizations or individuals. The city of Milpitas also, helps fund some of it, but most of our income comes from individuals, those who are paying their fees and that sort of thing. So that's the greatest challenge. We can do a lot with this station. Many cities, unfortunately, have lost their PEG access because it's underutilized, and I would hate for that to happen in Milpitas. And so that's one of the challenges, is to really get people to really realize the gift that we have right here in this community.
So rewards.
Oh my goodness, the rewards are crazy. Meeting folks like yourself, I can remember July 4th dancing with Debbie G. I call it Debbie G. See,
I don't remember that one.
Oh, I got the footage, believe me.
You got to show me after the show.
I will. I've got it on tape and everything. The rewards is getting to meet just the diversity of people here. I mean, the 48 different cultures that are right here, the melting pot right here in Milpitas is extraordinary. Sitting across from someone who maybe have gotten captured in the war and escaped and has made a name for themselves. Nice. Wow. I mean, you just can't find that.
Well, I got to tell you, you have a knack of bringing, when you do an interview, you really get in there deep. I don't think they know how deep you're going. And you really, Deborah, do, I think, an incredible job.
Thank you.
Being able to glean some information off these folks.
Thank you so much. Well, I think my latest joy has been working with the Brownie Troupe right here in Milpitas. Little girls, 7, 8, 9 years old who first came into the studio, and they were really afraid of the cameras, and I don't know if I can talk in front of the camera, and to watch that transformation within a half an hour to where they're give me the mic. And that has been really rewarding. So
Good. What are some of the aspirations you might have for Milpitas Community TV?
One of the things that the board wants to do is to build a mobile unit where we can actually do live television shows on what's going on. to have on-demand video, so that if someone says, well, gosh, I just missed, VHO TV on 9 o'clock on Saturday, they could actually go to our website and click and show the video on demand. And also, the aspiration is to build more space and have more cameras and microphones, and that's going to take financial contributions. And so the aspirations is to get bigger and get bigger and better.
Nice. Well, I certainly hope you do, Deborah. We're going to close for now. Oh, I know what. You, got a Valley Homes on TV T-shirt. You finally
You're going to be well dressed.
Okay, here we go. Sing. VHO TV. Wow, look at you guys coming up in the world. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's nice.
So
I like that.
I want to thank you for being our guest, and
thank
you for sharing a little bit about you and what you do and behind the scenes, and thank you for your contribution to our community.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me, and thank you for using our studio, because like I said, your VHO TV is one of our premier shows, and we're just, they don't know it, but I show them every day. I do.
We were just we were just had the dates of the times down, so.
Don't go ahead and, do that, but I'll show you in other slots.
Well, terrific. Yeah, we've enjoyed having you, Deborah, and, thanks for the behind-the-scenes tour here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good luck.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Through the years, trends and styles may come and go, but the important things remain the same. Generation after generation, consistently there, creating moments and memories to last a lifetime. Like a true friend, the national parks have always been there for you, and now you can be there for them. Support the National Park Foundation and help protect America's treasured places.
We all share a common journey. We wanted to serve our country and protect the things we love. We were ready to face any mission and help those in need. But for some of us, coming home was more of a challenge than we expected. In the service, we had each other's backs. But as veterans, it can sometimes feel like we're all alone.
At the Veterans Crisis Line, we understand what you're going through, and we can help. It's your call.
Welcome back, everyone, to Valley Homes on TV. Todd Flesner along with Debbie Giordano. And we're here to do a little wrap-up for you, give you some information about what's happening in Milpitas real estate.
In the month of May.
In the month of May in 2013.
Yes.
So it's been an interesting market, hasn't it?
It has been a ride this year.
Yes, it
I
has.
don't know what to say. Everything you read in the paper is true. I just brought just a couple. Here's this article in the Mercury. Home prices hit a milestone. So we are actually right now at pre-depression prices. So we're back up to where we were. I mean, homes that were underwater, meaning that they owe more than what the value is, has adjusted, and now we're seeing equity in homes. So there's been a turning in the market. It's been really exciting. I've been doing open houses where 60, 80 families come through, and that's just unbelievable.
Well, I know you've even told me some weekends more than 100 groups of folks coming through individual open houses.
Yeah.
And I know as I work with folks who are pre-qualified and pre-approved for purchasing homes and getting an opportunity to speak with them about their home search process.
They're frustrated.
Well, there's a challenge, yes, absolutely. Multiple offers.
Correct.
And what's the right offer price to put in, and what's the right strategy for that in terms of being able to get your offer accepted.
Right.
And so, it's been a fast-moving market, and we've seen, I think, some significant changes in a fairly short period of time.
Definitely.
So, let's take a look.
How about some home price changes? Let's look at April to April 2012 to April 2013. In 2012, there was 546,000 for an average price home. That has jumped now to 686,000. Median price was $496,000, and that's now at $650,000. So nice gain. April 2012 for a condo, we have an average price of $310,000, and you will not believe that's now up to $467,000. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the growth in the condo market. Median price was $315,000. Now it's up to $440,000.
So yeah, nice rebound, like you said, back to kind of the pre-bubble,
right?
Bursting.
Well, let me ask you. You put out what I love it. There's a weekly update in terms of the economic indicators and how those point the direction to maybe interest rates or other factors.
And I'm happy to provide that for any of our viewers who want to keep abreast of what's happening on a consistent basis with the economic factors influencing both real estate and mortgage interest rates.
Great. Let's remember when we close, let's put up both of our email addresses. But one last week, you talked about the unemployment rate. That's dropped considerably.
It has.
Talk to me about that. How does that factor into what we're doing economically here?
Well, a lot of home buying has to do with confidence about the future. And the unemployment rate dropping begins to give folks confidence about their jobs and confidence about the future, their ability to be able to afford a home going forward. Now, there's some things that, in the background behind that unemployment number in terms of folks, in terms of participation level in the market, the employment market. So are folks dropping out, or are we actually seeing more hiring going on? So there's a little bit of that. But the raw numbers in terms of the data about unemployment rate is definitely improving, and that's giving confidence to the market.
And it looks like from October 2009, it was 10% to last month, 7.5%.
Correct.
So it's definitely going in the right direction.
It is going in the right direction. We're starting to see other economic signs that are positive as well. If you look at the stock market, we're at all-time highs now in the stock market, and so those equity positions are much more healthy.
But in the years past on the show, we talked about a stock market going up might mean interest rates may follow. So
that's correct.
What do you see coming on?
Well, one of the things that's been keeping interest rates low has been the Federal Reserve policy regarding low rates, and there's starting to be some chatter now. In fact, today as we're taping this, the Fed had some comments about them, Chairman Bernanke in particular, about beginning to unwind their MBS purchase program, their mortgage-backed securities purchase. So, the federal government has been a purchaser of mortgage-backed securities, and that's increased demand for those mortgages in the market. So they're looking to begin to unwind that program this summer.
Did they start that program when the housing market took its crash?
They did. And so it's been through a couple different iterations over the last couple of years. It had couple different names, Operation Twist. There are a couple of others that they've had that they've called this. But in essence, it's been the same thing. It's been the federal government buying mortgage-backed securities to help keep interest rates low and to help the supply of mortgage money in the market. So they're beginning to talk about unwinding that program this summer, and we're going to probably start to see interest rates begin to nudge up a little bit.
Okay. Another interesting factor I think that's coming into play, particularly in our housing market, when we talk about the supply and demand cycle of it, there's also a article, Silicon Valley fuels Bay Area people boom. So we're seeing a population increase, which maybe that's the lower, the unemployment,
that's
where
correct.
the employees are hiring, people are coming here. So that definitely is going to fuel the market, and that's another reason why we're seeing the increase.
Right. Well, and as folks know, California and Silicon Valley in particular, we tend to be on the leading edge, both with recovery, but also on the downside as well. And so we're seeing a quicker recovery here than they are perhaps in other parts of the country.
In the California Association Realtors magazine, I cut out an article. It says hot, warm, or getting warmer. And they label the top 6 counties in the state. And Santa Clara County they just called it red hot right now. So that's pretty exciting. I think that's exciting.
So so we have a healthy market here, more demand for homes than there is supply,
Right.
and that's part of what's pushing those prices up.
But again, as homeowners have equity, I think the supply for homes for sale will come up, and I think we'll
Absolutely.
be coming into a more normal market here real soon.
I think so. We're going to start to see some stabilization. The other thing that I'm seeing is I work with homeowners who are looking to refinance. For so many folks, when the values declined, it was
Right.
difficult for them to be
Right.
able to do that, particularly if they had a loan that wasn't a Fannie Freddie loan that was eligible for HARP. Well, now I'm starting to really work with those types of homeowners to be able to help them now lower their interest rates while we're still in the 3 and 4% range. And so I had a number of calls just this week, folks who've been stuck with loans in the 6s, who are going to now be able to
Nice.
lower their interest rates
Nice.
because they now have equity.
It's great for their family.
Yeah, so that's good.
I think we're ready to close. Go ahead and let's shoot get your email address up there for
Terrific.
folks.
It's T Flesner at GM West, like greatmortgagewest.com.
And actually, if anybody wants these housing statistics or anything of information on the show, you can reach me at giordanodj@aol.com.
Terrific. Well, it's good to see recovery in the market. We're glad the folks have joined us as well. And
Enjoy the summer coming up. Kids are going to be out of school, and everybody have nice, safe vacations. And we've got a few more shows coming up before the July break. And
absolutely, and we always appreciate any of our viewers who have recommendations for us too. If anybody you'd like to see us have on the show, or an area of town you'd like to see us highlight, we'd be delighted to hear about that.
yeah, great. Thanks for watching Valley Homes on TV.